Welcome back to That Haunted Show. I'm your ghost host with the most, and today we're going to be talking about that 911 call. It's not human. So imagine you're driving down a dark, desolate, rural road in North Carolina, minding your business. And the next thing you know, you're on the phone with 911 screaming, "It's not human." That actually happened. Tonight, we're actually talking about a true, real 911 cryptid call. An encounter that happened on a desolate, dark back road in North Carolina, and a YouTube channel that went full detective mode called The Carolina Case Files. So here's the situation. Pender County, North Carolina. A guy is driving near Black River and Moores Creek when he sees what looks like an injured man on the side of the road. What might one do in a situation like that? Well, he does exactly what any logical person would do. He calls 911 to tell the dispatcher that there is a wounded person on the side of the road bleeding. That's when the night completely goes off the rails.
Pender County 911, what's the address of your emergency?
I'm driving on 210. I just crossed the Black River, and I thought I saw a guy standing on the side of the road bleeding.
Okay, where are you at, sir?
I'm on 210. I just crossed the Black River. I'm heading towards 53 East. I just passed Patriots Watch.
Okay, so you're over near Moores Creek?
Yes.
Okay. And did you saw a man standing on the side of the road?
What the?
What was that, sir?
That's not human! That's not human!
Sir, are you okay, sir?
There's something in the bed of my truck!
Okay, what's in the road?
No, it's not in the road. It's in my truck. In the bed.
There's something in the bed of your truck?
Yes, ma'am. I just turned on my bed lights for my truck, and there's something in my bed.
Okay, sir, when you say something, what do you mean?
I just knocked it off of the bed of my truck and went over my roof.
Okay, what was it?
While he's still on the phone with 911, something slams in the back of his truck. He starts freaking out, yelling that something is in his truck. Then he drops the most legendary sound bit that the internet is going crazy over.
It's not human.
First of all, there's nothing on this planet that would keep me on the road after something non-human jumping in the back of my truck like that. Like, I'm gonna drive straight into the ocean. The North Carolina coast would become a real thing for me. I'd be out of there. Bro doesn't even have time to process. It goes from, yeah, there's a guy on the side of the road, to, what the fuck was that? That's not even human. That's not human. Like 2 seconds flat. That's not a slow burn. It's a jump scare applied to real life. Shout out to the dispatcher, because they just calmly asked, like, "Where's your location? And what road are you on? And what did you see? What are you looking at?" Meanwhile, this dude is just freaking out the entire time, screaming bloody murder. It's not human. And it's the most chill dispatcher I've ever heard in my entire life for something of this caliber. This dude is basically living through Jeepers Creepers 4. And she's just like, "What color was he?" Now, this isn't just some random TikTok creepypasta. The original deep dive on this call came from the YouTube channel, The Carolina Case Files, where Mr. Rusty, shout out to Rusty, really did some digging. And he obtained this phone call just from the Freedom of Information Act. You know, like you can just call up the police officers and just ask them if you can pull some records, body cam footage, phone calls, stuff like that. As long as it's not linked to an open investigation, then they will release it to the public. And that is exactly what Rusty did. I mean, he went full small town, corkboard, red tape journalism on this. He went as far as talking to the sheriff, who verified all the claims and the calls and everything that came in. He talked to the witness himself, that he refers to as T, and You can tell in the video that he does that it is actually the guy from the phone call. And he recounts his testimony to Rusty, and my God, it is absolutely horrifying. I can't imagine being in that position. Talked about the truck, the scratch marks on the truck from it. At one point, when he described it, he said he looked in his rearview mirror and he turned around, and when he turned the bed lights on, that's whenever he saw what looked like a creature that looked kind of human with a sunken eyes. Their face was sunken in, and it looked like, and I quote, someone took someone's skin and pulled it as hard as they could over their face. The best part about it was how calm T talked to the dispatcher, in between. He gave detail while all this was happening. It's in the back of my truck. What is it? I don't know. Turns the bed light on. It's not human. What does he do? He slams on the brakes. Goes from 80 miles an hour down to 30 miles an hour, and it rolls over his truck. And then he begins to proceed to say that when he turned around to peel off to get back on the main road, he looked in his rearview mirror and it stood up, and it had to be at least 7 feet tall, and it darted off to the left back into the woods. That is nightmare fuel, and I would definitely need a new pair of pants. There's no way that dispatcher would have been able to make out anything I was saying at all. I'd have been screaming bloody murder like something was killing me if I saw something like that. And it'd have been 5 minutes of silence because I would have been passed out, and then I would have wrecked the truck, and no one would have ever figured out what was going on. I'm telling you, props to T if it happened exactly how he said it happened. Which is funny because he also said that the original person he saw on the side of the road that looked like they were bleeding looked like they were wearing a Civil War uniform, which in that area was really close to a battlefield where some of the Civil War took place. And apparently there's a lot of apparitions seen and ghosts seen in that area. So it's pretty interesting. But linking the two of those, like maybe he saw a ghost, but then it turned out to be this creature, or the timing that he stopped because he saw a ghost, and then maybe this cryptid saw an opportunity to jump into the truck. And the whole reason he jumped into the truck in the first place was because T pulled over a little bit ahead of the guy that he saw was bleeding. And he did that so he could then call dispatch, and then 911 would come, and then he could be there as like a place marker, like a placeholder, to then say he's down there. It was kind of, people do that. I've done that before. So when people ask, is this just an AI hoax? The uncomfortable answer is, it looks way more real and documented. The incident has been documented so well and confirmed that no one can explain what it was, what the call was about, if Rusty was telling the truth. But there's a lot of things that lined up that this police officer said made absolutely no sense. Online, people immediately started throwing labels at it, like the Pale Crawler, the Rake, Skinwalker, the Tall Gray, a Mimic Demon. Basically every cryptid in the book, the names were thrown at this thing. And personally, I think that it could be, I don't know what it is. I think it could possibly be a cryptid. I think it could possibly be a skinwalker. But the part that sticks with most people with the details is that he did in fact say it did look human at first. He thought it was human. So whatever this thing was, it was close enough to look like a bleeding human in desperate need of help. That's like the final evolution of Uncanny Valley. Human enough to trigger your empathy, not human enough to let you go home sane. Skeptics versus believers. Obviously, the internet did its thing. It was split. Some people are like, yep, classic cryptid, North Carolina's got monsters, case closed. Others are digging into public records and trying to verify and identify that all these claims took place. But even the skeptics, at the end of the day, understand that the sheriff is a real person, and that he confirmed they did receive this call. They responded to this call. They had EMS, they had wildlife management, they had sheriff's department and the police department on the scene. And he verified that, which is a huge thing. Now, he didn't say he saw anything, and he's not saying it's a creature, but he did say that it is completely unexplainable and he don't know what happened that night. Multiple sources even claimed that the law enforcement and wildlife management used drones with thermo techniques or thermo imaging to scan the area to see if they saw anything. So you're left with two options. It's insanely elaborate, a years-long performance, real small-town cops involved, or something genuinely weird happened on that road in 2021 that nobody wants to look at closely. I still can't stop thinking about how crazy it is that the caller actually kept driving, talking, and giving details. Man is being attacked by a cryptid and still has better phone etiquette than half of the people calling customer service. But the scariest part isn't the monster. It's the feeling of being out in the middle of nowhere. The nearest help is miles away, and the only lifeline you have is a voice on the other side of the phone. And that voice can't see what's in the back of your truck. An update happened recently too. So apparently, someone in the same area of where this took place has security camera footage, like facing their backyard, that shows this god-awful, creepy looking rake, cryptid, Wendigoon crawling through their backyard. And it's very detailed. Not too detailed because it's still a nighttime shot of a security camera about this creature, or what you see in this video. But you see this creature walking through the yard, and then you see headlights from where the people get home that live there, and then it kind of gets spooked, and then it runs the other way, and it kind of reminds me of a Demogorgon, not gonna lie. But this video has been analyzed and put through an AI authenticator. So, according to AI authenticators, it's not been tampered with. It's not AI, it's not been tampered with, and it's been completely unedited. So, what do you do with that? Well, let's roll the clip. God, that is terrifying. That is a haunting, but it is haunting. But it gives more weight to the 911 call that T experienced in the same area. Kind of gives it a little bit more validation, if anything. Who the fuck knows? I'm not going to find out. There's no way in hell I'm going out there to figure it out. Unless this video gets 2,000 likes. Then that haunted show will go out there and we will try to see if we can figure out what the heck this is and maybe try to lure it in. Maybe. See if we can get it on camera. But if you want to go straight into a dark rabbit hole of this whole incident, then you really need to go check out the Carolina Case Files. Because Rusty's the one that's been doing all the legwork on this case. And I feel like it should be more out there. I feel like more people should be talking about it because this is intense footage. This is intense documentation and really good detail, especially having government officials involved explaining and saying, yes, something happened. We just don't know what it is. To me, that trumps so many other creepy things that have been filmed. I mean, we got somebody actually doing the legwork and journalists, boots on the ground work to figure out what this is. Was it a cryptid? What is it, an alien? Was it a Wendigoon? What is it? Whatever. What is it? So props to Rusty. Shout out to him. But over here, we're going to keep digging into weird calls, missing people, and that creepy crawly thing lurking on the other side of your bedroom door. If you want more stories where reality feels like found footage, then hit the like button and make sure to subscribe. Tell me if you heard It's Not Human over a real 911 call. What's the first creature that pops in your head? Let me know in the comments below. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.